After a third-place finish at the College World Series in Omaha, the Florida Gators are looking for more as they open the 2016 campaign here in Gainesville against the Florida Gulf Coast Eagles. And right off the top, you see the expectations are sky high. Florida, the consensus #1 team in the nation. There is no doubt about that as they open up the campaign. We welcome you into the booth. Adam Schick and former Gator Nick Belmonte with you here at the MAC. And Nick, we saw the poll. There's 6 of them. They all have Florida #1. Why is it so obvious?
Well, you know, Adam, Three Dog Night said 1 is the loneliest number, and it's lonely at the top. They're going to be coming at the Gators. But why are they ranked #1? They returned 6 guys in the starting lineup in the batting order. They returned their entire rotation, including 2 guys that could be drafted in the first round. We're talking about A.J. Puck and Logan Shore, and arguably the best coach in the history of the University of Florida, Kevin O'Sullivan. That's why expectations are sky high to get back to Omaha.
Capacity crowds have jam-packed KDC Show Presley Stadium all weekend long to see this battle between 2 of the titans of college softball, the 7th-ranked Alabama Crimson Tide and the top-ranked Florida Gators. We will decide this series today because of a couple great games we saw on Friday and Saturday. Let's start Friday night. Game 1, Florida trailing, Kirstie Merritt ties it with a solo shot, but then Sydney Booker, the transfer, comes in with a big game-winning double to score Andrea Hawkins. Then Alexis Osorio in relief strikes out Nicole DeWitt. Alabama takes game 1, 2-1. Then yesterday afternoon, through the rain, these 2 teams battled, and Amanda Lorenz battled that pitch from Osorio all the way to the fence that scored Merritt. Florida took a lead, but then Alabama answered back. Reagan Dykes with a 2-run homer. The Tide would try and add a little more later that inning, but look at this beautiful relay from Florida into Aubrey Monroe to apply the tag. And then her senior classmate Taylor Schwartz ties the game up with her 2nd homer of the year. And then ultimately, Florida gets the game-winning hit from the sophomore Kaylee Kvistad, scoring Kelsey Stewart with a wonderful slide in from third, just past the tag from Dykes. And Taylor Schwartz, who had the home run, gets the final out of the game. Florida wins it 3-2. So that sets the stage for game 3. Adam Schick, Megan Bush with you. And Megan, as we just saw 2 one-run games, the margin for error with these teams is very, very small.
Yeah, we've seen some special moments in softball here over the weekend. We've seen great pitching at points. We've seen great defense. We've seen some timely hitting. So it's going to be all about who can play under that pressure and come away with some bigger moments.
And we've seen some really, really good pitching, specifically on Friday from Sydney Littlejohn. She will get the ball again today. What is she going to try and do against the Gators the second time around?
Well, Littlejohn did a great job the first 3 innings, only allowed 1 base runner throughout those, and then gave up the home run to Kirstie Merritt in the 4th. So she's going to have to be able to pitch through some pressure situations because the Gators are looking to get out there and swing the bat a little bit more against her when she throws up in the zone.
Welcome back to the AdvoCare warm-up report, brought to you by AdvoCare. Adam Schick with you down on the field here at Camping World Stadium as we continue with our pregame report. You know, when he first came to Orlando a little bit over a year ago, he was known to most people as Alex Morgan's husband. But in the time since, he's become a stalwart on the field and a very, very trusted part of Jason Christ's system he's been implementing here since he arrived in the City Beautiful. Mackenzie Thurkill has more on Servando Carrasco. Thank you very much, Jeff and Tom. Adam Schick, Paul Shaw with you here just behind the pitch. And Paul, they've kind of summarized the night in general, but from what you were able to see, what went wrong tonight for Orlando City?
I think it was defensively first half. I think Columbus got in way too easy. On 2 occasions, it was just 1 pass through between centre-backs and full-backs. And that was what obviously hurt them. I mean, they did recover second half, and they recovered quite well. But ultimately, it wasn't enough, so they got a tough few weeks now.
We always talk about momentum and the role that plays in the contest. For Columbus to score as early as they did, given the form they were coming in with, how much did that change the complexion of this one?
Well, it does change the game. Columbus obviously came into the game, you know, hoping to start well. But when you're on the one that they're on, you know, when they score a goal like they do early on, that gives them even more confidence and belief that they can stay in the game. If Orlando would have scored the first goal, I believe Columbus would have really found it difficult tonight. But they've scored the first goal and obviously have grown from there.
It is a very happy New Year's Day for the Auburn Tigers as they come into Gainesville and win the SEC opener over Florida 82-75. Adam Schick and Britt Davis with you at the brand new Exact Tech Arena. And Britt, when you start the SEC, there's pressure in a figurative sense. The problem for Florida is that Auburn also brought pressure in a very literal sense from start to finish.
Absolutely. They did exactly what their game plan was. Come in here, pressure Florida, cause turnovers, and convert that into offense.
And for Florida, they answered in whatever way they could. In the second half, that was mostly with Ronnie Williams.
Yeah, Ronnie Williams came to play that second half, doing it all over the floor. She had a lot of jumpers inside that SEC logo area, and that's where she got the majority of her points, there or down low.
Ronnie Williams ended up with a SEC career high 24 points, but you're going to see two players that really brought it for Auburn, starting right off the bat with Brandy Montgomery.
I mean, Montgomery off the bat, 7 of 8 from the three-point line, and then you have Firking, 3 of 9 from the three-point line, and just no answer for the two of them.
Firking very quiet in the first half. In the second half, she exploded, ended up crossing 1,000 points in her career. The two of them combined for 50 points, and they made 10 of 17 from long distance between the two of them. It was an explosive night for the Gators on and now off the field as they come up with a 6-0 shutout victory over Alabama. Adam Schick and Matthew Stubbington with you. Matthew, this one went just perfectly according to plan for Florida, pretty much in every sense of the word.
It certainly did. Something that's key for Florida is to score the first goal. They were able to do that tonight, and they scored it early, which is the other thing that Florida needs to do to be successful. And Alabama just didn't have any answer. Florida passed the ball with aplomb and moved off the ball tremendously with each other, and then importantly kept a clean sheet.
The majority of Florida's goals came in the second half, but as you mentioned, Matthew, the first one was really important, and it was maybe the most impressive one of the night.
It certainly was. Just tremendous movement here. Erica Nelson playing the ball in to Savannah Jordan. She holds it up, knows the support's coming. And there's Pelayo popping up, a great ball in. Goalkeeper Strand thinks it's going to the back post, but there's Jordan at the near post, sliding finish. This one is off the practice ground. Look at the backspin on that ball. Look at the movement from Montegudo. Look at the pace of the ball headed into the back of the net.
Well, look at these numbers, Matthew. Not just the fact that Florida scored 6, but they limited Alabama to no shots the entire night.
A great defensive effort. Marquise, the goalkeeper for Florida, will be very happy with the way her team played in front of her. And Becky Burley and the coaching staff will be very satisfied that Florida did keep the clean sheet.
Florida next in action at home on Senior Day. Sunday, they will take on Mississippi State at 1 o'clock. You can watch that right back here on the SEC Network Plus. Fireworks lighting up the sky. Florida, a 6-0 winner.